All right, everybody. Thank you for joining the Global Black Heritage BRG's Black Business Month celebration here. This is the second part of our Think Like a Boss, achieving an entrepreneurial mindset and success. Today, we have none other than Kimberly Black. She is joining us from all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee. She's the CEO of Trusted Field Services. Just to give you some background, Kim Black is the founder of Trusted Field Services. This is a 100% woman-owned construction company headquartered in Knoxville, Tennessee. TFS was founded in 2017. It specializes in construction, concrete, renovation, remodeling, site development, disaster recovery, flooring, and construction management for both commercial and residential projects. Ms. Black has an extensive and impressive client base, including the City of Knoxville, the Knoxville Utilities Board, the Knoxville Community Development Corporation, as well as the Knoxville Area Transit. Kim is a proud graduate of Florida A&M University. Let me correct myself, the Florida A&M University. She currently serves on the board of directors for the Junior League of Knoxville, the Boys and Girls Club of East Tennessee Valley, and the Association of General Contractors of Knoxville. US Bank and the Black Heritage BRG, please welcome Miss Kimberly Black. Hi, Kim.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for saying yes. So, Kim, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about some of your accolades. All of these pictures. Um, I- it just looks like you're running things all the way. The hard hat, the whole nine. Can you kind of walk through some of these photos here?
Okay, the photo of the city of Knoxville that in received the Rising Star um, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Award for the city. The picture below that is me reading blueprints. I kind of everyday um, something I do every day. Um, the picture with me in the hard hat is at one of the bus stops we did for the Knoxville Area Transit, where we modified the bus stops to make sure that they were ADA compliant for the residents of Knoxville.
Well, I will say I just love it because I feel like you got this hard hat on, you got these lashes on, full face of makeup, and you're doing it looking cute. So I love it. I love it all. So let's just brag a little bit. Let's just
You.
brag a little bit. So Kim has a distinct honor of being a 2024 YWCA Tribute to Women Award finalist, which I'm really excited about. She's also gotten some recognition from some DBE recognition from City of Knoxville's Small Business Connection. She was featured by the Knox County Parks and Recreation as a woman-owned business to look out for. 2023, as she said, she got the City of Knoxville Rising Star DBE Award. And then 2023, Knoxville Area Urban League Entrepreneurship Program, Innovation City. And then she's also worked really closely with the 2023 Women in Construction. So I'm going to give you your kudos. We're super excited about that. Um, so let's dive into it. Let's see. You attended FAMU, and you're always so excited about that. How important was attending an HBCU for you? And then what did this have? How did this impact you in starting your business and where you are now?
Well, HBCUs are very vital to our economy and to our community. uh, Attending Florida A&M University allowed me to be around professionals that worked for NASA, the White House, worked in foreign embassies. I mean, anything you can imagine, I was able to see people that look like me in those spaces. And it made it comfortable for me to know that I am able to soar, that there's no shortcuts. I had to do the work. And it was a safe place for me to just flourish. And attending a HBCU just gives you a confidence that you can't get anywhere else. I'm able to go into boardrooms because I'm a proud family graduate, and everything that Florida A&M instilled in me just gives me an air of confidence, and knowing that I'm prepared to seize this opportunity.
Awesome, awesome. So, do you do you get to meet fellow rattlers along the way in your journey?
Everywhere I go.
Everywhere you go, everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
So tell me, what drove you to start this business? How important was your mindset, when you decided to say, hey, I'm not going to necessarily work for somebody else. I'm going to do this thing on my own. What type of mindset did you have at that time?
I had the mindset, I wanted to be in control of my time. I was in corporate America. The work life balance wasn't what I expected it to be. And I had to reevaluate some things and say, what means the most to me? And what am I willing to do in order to be able to enjoy my time, and my family? And that led me to start my own business. And with running my own business, I was able to manage my own time, and and be able to say, hey, I can take this time away if I want to, spend time with my family. I'm able to do this. I can work towards
Yeah.
this, versus having to work in situations where it was frowned upon to take off. People prided themselves on how much time they had, and it was just frowned upon to use your days. And so I didn't, I didn't see me wanting to continue to work in those type environments.
Yeah, yeah, I can totally dig that. So tell me this, out of all the things that Kimberly Black could get into, how in the world did you get into construction?
That's a good question, Lanisha. I I knew how to do some things, and I just kind of started doing kind of like handyman work, and God just put different people around me that opened up various doors, for me to go into construction. A lot of great mentors. It's very important to have good mentors, um, and people you can turn to when you have questions or concerns. And I, got on YouTube. I went to the local community college and started learning how to do some trades. And and I learning the trades has been very, um, it's just been a breath of fresh air for me. And I think that sometimes we don't discuss the trades enough, as opportunities for our people.
Mhm.
And it's given me the flexibility, black owner, flexibility to be able to hire within my community and also be able to train within my community.
So as a Black female, we know that that's an underrepresented area, for Black women. Have you had any unique challenges, being a Black woman in that industry?
Well, I mean, as you know, I mean, we have all types of challenges just being Black women. We're gonna walk in the door. Most people don't think that Black women would be interested in construction or know what we're doing or think there's a husband behind you. Um, and, and that's not always the case. Um, but one of the upsides of being a Black woman in this industry is when people see me, they, well, I want to say it nicely, they know I have my Black girl magic, and they know um, that I am capable of doing the project. They know that my team is trained, and we're one of the best. And so when you're able to have um, being able to be in these positions, um, to where your company's name holds some weight, that helps you in a lot of doors, because we did the work. And like I said, I train my own crews, and just having a good name is important in business.
So you personally train your own crews?
I have to.
I love it. I love it.
We
I
yeah
love
we
it.
have yeah we have a shortage in the labor force that we're not discussing, and so you know us business owners, we've had to start training people. We have a lot of unskilled labor in the United States right now.
Awesome. So a question that I had specifically, I know you're from Dallas, Fort Worth area, Arlington, right? What brought you to Knoxville, Tennessee?
During COVID, all hell broke loose for me and my company, and there was what government shutdowns, pandemic, shelter in place. What else happened, Lanisha?
Everything.
Every,
Everything.
everything that you can imagine
Everybody's at home.
happened during this time. Okay. And so, luckily for me, I had built a network of people throughout the United States that knew what I was doing. And so, when things slowed up in Dallas Fort Worth and, well, basically came to a halt, some of the Knoxville developers and builders were still going. And they said, "Hey, we need some help up here. Do you think that you guys can come up here and kind of get some things going for us?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." And I was just thinking I'll be up here for a month or two. And God saw different, and I never left. I never went back home. And so that's just an example of when one door closes for you, another door will open for you with abundance.
Yeah, you just have to, take it how it comes and pivot when you have to and adjust. So I totally understand that. Um,
It was scary now, and it was
I'm
a
sure it
lot
was.
of I was unsure.
I'm sure it was. I think it was scary for everybody. Um, you talked about how uh everything was shut down and you just had to, make some pivots. Um, what was some of the ways that you were able to find funding, for your business? How did you get it off the ground per se?
What was that banking relationships? Well, no, let me go back. Making sure that your business affairs are in order, be it your credit, making sure, because you can't go to a bank if your credit's not together. So being able to sit down, know your credit score, on credit, handle any issues that you may have so that you can become bankable. And that's one of the issues that a lot of small business owners face. They're not bankable. And so then I started working on relationships with local banks, and I was able to secure funding for my various projects. But you also have to, be disciplined,
Absolutely.
and make sure that you're being a good steward of the opportunities that you're being presented.
Were grants an option during any point of your business?
Well, what's a grant?
Like I didn't know if you had like government grants or anything like that at your disposal as a DBE. Or no?
Mm,
Okay, cool. Let's see. So you have had a great deal of commercial residential projects. What is one or two maybe projects that you were so proud of and they were most rewarding when you did them and why?
the most rewarding projects, one would be the bus stops, making sure that they were ADA compliant, because a lot of bus stops are not. And that caused different different problems for our residents, and something that we may not think of. Um, and I was happy to be a part of that to make sure that our residents were able to be comfortable while they waited for their bus to take them to work or to run their errands. The second would be the ADA modification to one of the elementary schools for one of their rooms to be able to better accommodate their students, um, in case it was converting like to a ADA compliant bathroom and shower, just in case,
Yeah.
kids are at school, things can happen. And then those teachers are able to take them into a safe area, to be able to clean them up. And so they can continue their day of learning. And so that was very fulfilling and enriching for me.
So have you heard any success stories from some of the work that you've done?
We hear them all the time. The um, a lot of the people that I employ are have become first time homeowners
Oh, wow.
as a result of working. Um, our recidivism rate, um, many of my workforce are ex offenders, and the reoffending rate has been zero, because they have a skill, they have meaningful wage, they have something to look forward to, they have benefits, something that they can be proud of and share with their family. And so that's helped in the surrounding zip
Amazing.
codes, with recidivism and occurrences of reoffenses. Well, we've been really proud of that.
That has to feel amazing. That has to absolutely feel amazing just to be able to pour back into the community that you're serving directly. Um, so, what do you do to stay competitive? Um, it's probably I don't know if it's a big market. I know a little bit about Knoxville, but I don't know if there's a lot of construction companies that would be considered, competitors. What do you do to stay competitive in the market?
I don't compete. I stay in my lane. I run my race. I do good work. I develop and cultivate relationships along the way. And those relationships have been, invaluable to me, and they've helped with the growth of Trusted Field Services. So I would tell anyone, know, of course, know who's in your area, and know um, how they're doing business. But
Yeah.
my work speaks for itself, and once you're known for having a good product, having good services, people come to you.
So, what do they say about Kim Black? What is the street saying?
you know, if you ask the business community, um, she is, a big pillar of the community. I believe in, my company is located in an underserved community, and that's by choice. Um, I want to be able to be an asset, um, um, make sure that in order to change things in our communities, we have to have a buy-in from small businesses. They are the backbones of the United States, of the economy, and so we have to give small businesses the tools they need to be successful, because they're the ones that employ those in the community and give people opportunities and chance and opportunities to grow with leadership. So that's what they would say about me. I'm very pro community and making sure that we have partnerships with our small businesses.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So how important is it for Black businesses to the economy? I know that in certain areas, I would say, and predominantly in the South, you see an influx of Black businesses. So, how important is that to the overall economy, not only in those areas, but to the United States, you would say?
Extremely important. Black businesses are the heartbeat of our economy. We are the ones that are employing um, other people that look like us. We're the ones that are making sure that we're in the community, that we're accessible, um, and we have the time and compassion to be able to grow people. And that's what we need more of in our society, is being able to grow and encourage and pour into people so that they can be the best that they can be.
So, we all know that Kim is the best. Amen. What does a day in the life of CEO Kim Black look like when you put your feet on the floor in the morning? How does your day go?
My day goes, I start with meditation. I start with, being able, to give thanks for the opportunities that I receive and the opportunities that I'll be able to create for others. I'm a dog mom, so, of course, spending time with the doggies, um, and just practicing mindfulness and being thankful throughout the day, um, being able to manage stress, because sometimes business can be stressful, especially construction. And so learning how to manage that, um, and making sure I have my work life balance, because sometimes you just have to put things down and step away, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah, that's okay. Being mindful of your mental health. How are you feeling at that time? Are you taking your vitamins? Are you doing everything you need to do to be your best? And you know, and knowing some opportunities I walk away from. I get presented with things every day, and being able um, to know what's a good fit, what client is a good fit. Uh, Having discernment on things, having thanking God for the people around me, friends, family, co-workers, um, just your support system, being thankful for those people you lean on, those people that pray for you, those people that inspire you to be more. And I think sometimes we can get away from that. And I think when we get away from that, it can kind of lead to friction in our lives.
So when you put that hard hat on and you hit the office, what happens?
I mean, magic happens. um, it's you know the same old, is just different because I'm a woman. But it's very encouraging and inspiring to other women, and also to I get a lot of men that tell me, I want to be like you. I didn't think that I could do construction. So I've helped a lot of Black start construction companies or trade companies,
Wow.
and representation is important. You never know who's looking at you, so make sure you're out there being your best self, and and you'll be surprised who's taking notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you think that your network with other Black entrepreneurs has been a factor in your own success?
Oh, definitely, definitely. The group I've surrounded myself with uh, has probably and they've seen things and worked through it, and wrote the book on it. So if I'm experiencing something, I can pick up the phone or shoot a text. They've been there and done that, and so they'll tell me how to navigate, um, or they'll tell me how to prevent it if
Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's always, and then they're going to be there to encourage you. They're going to be there to tell you to slow down, and having that accountability, having people that can pull your coattail and with love. These are all people that are, they want to see me succeed. I want to see them succeed. Well, they've already been successful. So, and you're like-minded people that you can learn from and bounce ideas off of. Because sometimes I can have grand ideas, and they're like, "No, it doesn't even make
Bring it on
sense."
back. Bring it on back.
Bring it on, and you need those people. And it's nothing like having older Black entrepreneurs that just say, baby, we're gonna get through it, or just being able to have that love for you to where you don't feel like you're asking a dumb question. You don't, you're not, because some rooms we we would not ask questions because we don't want to
Yeah.
appear as if we're not knowledgeable. But when having my group of Black entrepreneurs, I feel safe. I I feel protected. I feel that I can do no wrong because they're going to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Having that village to kind of help you along the way, I think that's super important. Um, so how important would you say that the community is? It- and them having support of your business, or having the community support around you.
Community buy-in is very important for businesses. Word of mouth is
Mhm.
how I get a lot of business. Um, and also, I get a lot of employees through the community. And so it goes hand in hand. I also give back to the community. So, you have to also give back and pour into the community that's pouring into you, and making sure, let's say, if different projects come up, you may have different people in the community that says, hey, you need to
Right.
make sure Trusted Field Services is a part of that. And so I appreciate and love my community and their support, and that's why I continue to support my community, um, by making sure, providing opportunities, training, helping with the different nonprofits here, anything and everything to grow our community to make sure that we're being successful. I'm all for it.
Yeah, here at the bank, we have this big thing. We talk about mentorship a lot. We talk about sponsorship a lot. Just hearing you say some of those things, like people are talking about you to others in the community. How important do you think it is to have that sense of sponsorship, having people to speak your name in rooms that you're not in, or um, to talk about the value of your product or your services to others? How valuable is that?
Well, word of mouth is the best marketing you can have. That's,
Yeah.
people trust their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's just invaluable that you can make such a good impression on someone that they want to refer you to friend, family, their company, their business, what have you. And so making sure that again, you're you're being professional, you're putting out good services, and you're being a part of the community. Representation again is very important. You have a business in a community, you have to give back. People need to see strong Black business owners. They need to see that, hey, we care, we're concerned, we're a part, we believe in you guys' goals and missions. That's important. You have to give back. We just can't take out of a community. We have to have a partnership uh, that's beneficial to the community, to the business, to where they feel that company has our best interest. They're happy being here, and we're going to make sure they flourish. And then in return, we're going to make sure that community flourishes. We're going to help out at the schools. We're a part of so much because
Yeah.
there's so many needs of our community.
So just thinking back when Kim Black was a little girl, what did Kim Black want to do when she grew up?
I wanted to work for National Geographic and go to Africa and play with the rhinos. You hear me? So that's what I wanted to do. And so I still may do it. We'll see. But
You
that
wanted to
was
play.
that was my goal.
I didn't see that one coming.
Oh yeah.
I
I,
didn't see that one
yeah.
coming.
Or take it for Shark Week. You know, go out there those remote locations and capture the sharks on video.
I love it. I would have never thought that. I would have never ever thought that. Um, so knowing what you know now, how are you able to balance your business and your personal life, your career, everything? How do you balance all that?
and um, a certain time of day, I turn everything off and
Oh,
I
that's
place
good.
my focus elsewhere. So being able to leave work at work is very important. Not bring that home with me. And it took a while for me to get used to doing that because you want to constantly work, constantly do, go, 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 but you have to turn it off. You have to take a mental break. So if it's enjoying some hot tea or reading a book, doing a hobby, something, but you have to step away from work and you have to put up boundaries. And I don't think we discussed that enough. Um, if your office hours are 9 to 5, 5:15, do not answer your phone.
Yeah.
If that's what so we have to have structure in our lives to say, hey, this is how I want my life to flow. And once we put that structure in our lives and we're able to create that balance with career and personal, so we're not taking away, our career isn't taken away from our personal, and our personal is not taken away from our career.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Um, so thinking back, who has been or what has been a biggest influence on you in your journey? What is your why?
My biggest, okay, mentor, I have so many that are just so phenomenal, and that are just titans in their own right. Um, so I don't want to, because if I name one, I have to name all of them. So I don't want to do that. Um, my mentors have been a major influence. My grandmother and grandfather, probably the major influences, and uncle. Um, they had the entrepreneurial spirit. They had businesses, and so that was very inspiring. Summer times when I would go visit, I would work in their businesses. So that helped spark an interest in me. Um, and my why is I enjoy people. And so being able to be in this space allows me to interact with people, and it allows me to be able to help put people in positions to win. And that is like just so fulfilling to me, um, to be able to be in rooms and create opportunities, creating
Right.
opportunities for people that would not have gotten those opportunities. Um,
Absolutely.
it's just so, I mean, it just makes my day. That's the most fulfilling part of what I do.
Yeah.
That's why I do
Yeah, I think that's an amazing why. To be able to be in a position to create opportunities for the next generation or generation right next to you. Just I think that's super important. Um, I think our grandparents instilled the importance of leaving this space better than when you found it, how you found
it.
it, and
Oh, yeah.
everything that you contribute goes along with that. Um, so of course, hindsight is 2020. If you could change anything in your business journey based on what you know now, what would you have changed?
Hmm. That's a good question. Um, um,
I kind of think I know though.
what do you think?
You would have done it sooner. I think you would have done it
No,
sooner. No,
no. I'm gonna
no,
tell you why. Every everything has a time, a place, and a season.
that is so true.
And so if I was younger, would I have been able to handle what I've been faced with? Would I had the strength at that time being younger? Would I have thrown in a towel when I was younger? Because mind you, I went through a pandemic, a government shutdown.
Yeah,
Everything that could possibly happen happened.
I've been.
And so if I was younger, I don't think my younger self would have been able to say, okay, we're going to figure this out. Enough in my religion at that time to trust and believe. I'm like, you know what? I'm going back to corporate America. You know, but as I have gotten older, I've been able to know that there's better around the corner if something happens. To say, okay, this is not over. Um,
Yeah,
and that only comes, that's wisdom you get as you grow older and know this is not the end all. When I was younger, I would have thought, I would have went through the pandemic and the shutdown, um, I probably would have thrown in a towel and been back in corporate America. Um, and
Yeah.
with me having having a little bit of just age on me, just to say, hey, God's gonna make a way. I'll figure it out, and I'll be better for it. And that's what I was able to do. And I don't think I would have had that blind faith younger. I don't. And so I think it hit me at the right time where I was able to receive it and able to recognize the that it's bigger than me. It's Black women going into boardrooms, having a space, having a voice to speak out, um, having the voice to be able to encourage change and policies and directions and opportunities. Um, that's something you have to do when your confidence is at a certain level and feel good about. Because I'm in a room with people that don't look like me,
Yeah.
and so having that strength to just be like, okay, okay, boys, this is how we're gonna do it, and they say, okay, So confidence definitely comes when you get older and you're more confident in what you're doing.
Yeah. So how do you navigate being the only melanated face in the room? How you navigate that?
Like you guys do every day. Yeah.
Good point. Good
Yeah, I've
point.
been Black a long time. So so the only thing I can do is just show up in my authentic self and and know that, hey, I have just as much right to be here as you do. And people can feel that. People can see that. And so they feel comfortable with you. They value your insight because why you've prepared to be in that room. And so that goes a long way, your confidence and how you prepare and how you conduct yourself.
Yeah. So we've come to our last question, and it is: what advice would you give to aspiring Black entrepreneurs?
Get your credit together and do it.
Just do it, right? Just start. Just start. Okay, Latoya wants to express to you. I don't have a question, but I want to say how she is truly blessing. She loves how you're truly blessing ex offenders by giving them a chance and employing them. She loves that.
Thank
Um,
you.
Stephanie Swan asks, "What was your favorite project?" I think we answered that, um, but we'll ask it again.
The favorite projects were the ADA modifications of the bus stops and the ADA modification for a restroom um, for for the elementary school.
Any other questions, people, party people here? Thank you. I started cleaning company, but I'm having trouble hiring people to stay. How do you navigate have being able to maintain your workforce, people who work for you?
Where are you getting the people from? Is it family, friends, or
Giovanna, do you want to answer that? I don't know if you can come off mute and you can ask. Oh, she's typing. Okay.
okay.
So while she's getting that, what are some tips on building your business credit?
Building your business credit? I would take a look at get your free credit report and see what exactly is on there.
Would that be your
And
personal or your business?
your personal, it'll be based off of your personal goes into your business. And so if your personal credit is shot, they're going to look at your business credit the same way. Um, look, get both, see what's on there, and um, and go from there and devise a plan on, see what's valid, what's not, because sometimes they can be inaccurate, and then devise a plan to go from there and get those things taken care of, so that you can increase your credit, so that you'll be able to be bankable and secure funding for your company.
Okay. And I know also you can tap into like DMB resources as well with Dun and Bradstreet. I think they have some resources too, as well as the SBA.
Mm-hmm.
Always, look into those resources as well.
Yes,
Um,
utilize SBA, please. Utilize whatever business services are in your state, county, local, as the city will have small business programs. The universities, the junior colleges, community colleges, they all have um, different sources of information and programs. Please take advantage of those.
okay, so Giovanna is circling back. She said she tries all different resources um, to get employees. Do you have any suggestions on where she should start to hire the right people?
Come up with a training manual and and a checklist, and you train them, and then they have their checklist every night and they submit their checklist. And also, and talk to people, have exit interviews. If people are leaving you, ask them why. you know and people will tell you, and that'll give you some opportunities to see where you can readjust some things.
So how does she go about finding good talent? Is there a strategy to that? Like if you
It
were
depends.
looking for talent, where would you go?
I mean, I had a cleaning business. I had people at church, and so those people had daytime jobs. I had buildings at night, and those were people that wanted to, just make extra money after work, and so they had that flexibility to do it. So this wasn't their main job, you
Right.
know, and that's what you have to just be mindful of. And so a lot of people are like, hey, this is helping, this is my car note, or this helps me be able to do this, or this helps me pay my rent, and just kind of find those people that, again, is not their main source of income. And
Yeah.
that's where I found that I had more success with those type.
All right. Let's say speak more on showing up as your real self daily. Give examples such as necessary boundaries, flexibility, dealing with ignorance. What do you do? What you do and don't entertain.
Okay, showing up yourself.
I
I
think he's
mean,
talking about authenticity. I think that's kind of the
authenticity.
crux.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, just being comfortable. I mean, you see, I have two cornrow braids right now. And sometimes I may have makeup on, sometimes I may not. But does that take away my knowledge, my skill set? No, I'm still going to walk into the room and be able to command the room. And that's what you just have to have, being knowledgeable in in what you offer, not being cocky, not being arrogant at all, but being confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. And I don't tolerate shenanigans, or any type of foolery. And so you just make sure, you're doing business on the up and up. You're conducting yourselves in, in the corporate workplace. Know the rules, know the guidelines, and conduct yourself accordingly. Everything else is extra. What are the rules in corporate America that we have to abide by? And if you follow the rules, it won't be any confusion because we have a manual to cut down on the confusion. And
Absolutely.
so, right. So anything else that what was that on the Wiz? Don't bring me any bad news. Don't bring me any bad news. you know, we have to be problem solvers, and
Absolutely.
we have to be able in corporate America. Sometimes we get away uh, from not being team players. And so make sure you're a team player. Make sure you're coachable. Make sure that you devise a career plan for yourself, and then make sure that whoever is in the position that you aspire to be in, take them out for coffee, learn the ropes, sit down, let them know your interests, your concerns, and how do what do they recommend for you to do to get
Absolutely.
to where you are.
I totally
You know,
agree with that. I have this thing called virtual coffee. Like, we're not drinking coffee, but we're definitely, exchanging gems
right.
back and forth. And I think that's important, building those relationships, networking. That's, paramount. Okay, so I have a question for those of us who are not Black. What would you most like us to know about how to support you and become better allies to our other colleagues who are?
Oh, that's a great question. Make sure when you're in rooms of the making decisions, you ask the question: how many of these companies are woman owned? How many of them are minority owned? How many of them are disadvantaged? Okay, you don't have any applicants, go find me some. That's how you can be an ally. That's how you can be a friend and make sure that everyone is included. Don't tell me you can't find anyone. It's the United States. You can find us. And so you just make sure you use your place to champion on behalf of people. And you don't let anybody give you any crap and say we can't find it. You make sure they find it and they give you a list of where they went to go find it. If they say they can't find it, give me the list. Give me the list of where you went to that you were not able to find it. Who did you reach out to in the community? Make people accountable um, for these things. And that's sometimes we kind of just take the, oh, we didn't find anyone because they didn't look. And we kind of just take it at their word and go on. And, be in a position to where you can bring in others because allies are very important. Make sure that you have a,
Absolutely.
a candidate pool that reflects the United States. Make sure there's people in there because you may be the only way they're able to gain entry into your company is if you speak out in that room and people say, oh, okay, well, great, and we'll start doing business that way.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So we're approaching the end of our hour. Um, I have a question. If you could sum your outlook on the next 20 years of TFS in one word, what would it be?
Hmm. 20 years, by that time, God willing, will be a global company.
So global is the word.
Global.
I, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So everybody, thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today. We were absolutely enlightened. Um, Black Heritage BRG. We have two more Black businesses we're focusing on this month. Our next one is Kwame Molden. He's the CEO of Spring Break Watches. He's a North Carolina A&T grad. He will be with us on Thursday at 11 a.m. Central. He's out of Charlotte. And then we'll also have Devon Reeves. She's the CEO of Vaughn Group Investor. She is one of the youngest hotel owners in the U.S. She's based out of Atlanta. We'll have her on the 28th. Do you have any questions for us, Kim?
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having this space for us to connect. And I wish each and every one of you success in your respective fields. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed day.